So, hi again. Welcome to Saturdays at Derek's. I'm Mike.
And I'm Derek.
And as you can see, we've got a new studio space this week.
Yeah, we're just going to be shooting downstairs for a couple of episodes probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like
5.
this. I mean, you've set up a nice nerdy background. The couch is comfortable.
yeah, it's a little bit more roomy than the chairs.
Right. And as you can probably tell, we've got a new camera because Derek and I don't have giant fat bellies or the motherfucking baby hand. So, yay us.
Yeah.
And as of this week, we have 11 subscribers.
Yay! Thank you, Jesse. Our 11th subscriber is my sister-in-law, Jessica. All the way out in Nevada.
Yeah, right. In Nevada. Why the fuck would you want to live in the middle of the goddamn desert?
Dry heat, man.
No. I think what I'm saying is it's possible that your sister-in-law has, like, mild dementia or something. No. Look at the evidence. She lives in the desert and she subscribed to our show. Those are clear signs of mental illness.
I personally would live in the desert. And I am also a subscriber.
Yeah. Me, not so much. On either one. It's our show. I haven't fucking subscribed to it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've practically sucked dicks to get people to subscribe to this fucking thing, but I haven't done it. And maybe that's why people don't do it. They can just sniff out my lack of commitment. But anyway, so on to news and notes. Tudyk and Nathan Fillion are doing a Indiegogo crowdfunding thing to get a show off the ground called Con Man.
Yeah, and it's not about a con artist type of con man?
No, it's a guy that goes to conventions because he did one big thing in his career, and that's how he makes his money now.
Yeah, it's loosely based on Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion's real life experiences at conventions. As guys who were famous for a show that got canceled after 14 episodes.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
But the great thing is, they're at like $2 million after like 3 or 4 days.
Well, yeah, because that one.
Because that's how awesome. Rabid the fan base for Firefly actually is.
Yeah, Nathan's had, success in other areas besides.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's done some small movies, and Castle is huge. And that's actually what he's known for now.
Yeah.
It's, because I actually went in to get a haircut once, and I was like, just give me Nathan Fillion's haircut. The chick's like, who's that? I get out my phone, and I'm like, oh, Castle! Yeah, fine, Castle.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty funny. There's a trailer for it.
Yeah, there's a trailer, there's like a little, I don't know if you'd call it a commercial or whatever, actually for hitting up people to donate to the Indiegogo thing.
Yeah. And
that was really funny too.
Yeah, and they've gotten some good talent.
Yeah.
Come in and do roles, so.
Right. Seth Green, Gina Torres.
Felicia Day.
Yeah. That guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, James Gunn.
Sure, whatever.
He's the director, writer.
Yeah, he's a Hollywood nobody. Don't fucking sweat him.
He's only awesome.
Well, no, just for the thing they did in the advertisement, I'm just kind of going the other way on it. Because I think stupid shit's funny.
Well, he also did Slither, the Slither remake.
Yeah.
Do you remember the?
No.
It had Nathan Fillion. The remake had James Gunn did the directing, writing and directing of it. But it had Nathan Fillion and Merle.
Oh, Michael. God damn you.
This always happens. You need to know a name, you can't remember it.
Yeah, well, no, and I'm just shitty with names in the first place. Michael something or other. He was in Mallrats.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, fucking Kevin Smith's gonna do Mallrats too. Did you see that online?
No, I heard Clerks 4 or 3.
No. He's doing Clerks 3, and then he's doing Hit Somebody, and then he's gonna do Moose Jaws, and then after Moose Jaws, he's doing a sequel to Mallrats.
Oh, he's getting a lot of work for a guy who's retired.
Yeah. Now for a couple more years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's going to be awesome. There's nothing bad to say about Kevin Smith.
Yeah, no, it popped into my head that I'd forgotten to mention that to you earlier. And
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no,
I'm excited, because I liked Mallrats.
Clerks 3 kind of surprised me when he said he was writing a script for it. And Mallrats definitely surprises me because he had a really bad experience doing Mallrats.
Well, it was kind of his first failure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to some degree, like theatrically, Clerks didn't do super well, but I don't think he got a lot of really great distribution. But, Mallrats was like outright derided by certain people. And I think it's just, all these years later, he's kind of gotten used to that.
Yeah.
He has gotten used to people just kicking him in the nuts.
He didn't like the Mallrats because the studio was so involved with telling him what to do and what not to do with this film.
Yeah.
And he had a hard time with that, I guess.
Well, maybe this is more of a chance. I think now that he's figured out...
He's going to George Lucas it and do Mallrats 2 the way he wanted to do Mallrats 1.
Well, no, I think now that he's figured out how...
It's going to be completely fucked.
It's going to be stupid characters made just for little children. And going to change everything. Brody shoots first.
Nothing but special effects. Brody shoots first.
Or Brody doesn't shoot first. Whatever, big controversy. No, I think what it is that now that he's figured out a formula for making the movie he wants to make and then getting it out there and not having to sweat how well it does at the box office because he knows that his core audience is going to watch it. As much as Tusk was a financial disaster, he had figured out a method to have prepaid for everything before the movie got out. So no matter how shitty it was or how shitty it was received, he still ended up being fine financially. Nobody lost money, and as long as nobody loses money, they're willing to go in for it again and again and again. And I think that's kind of what he's working off of now is I'm just going to make the movies I want to see. And I think that's really cool. That's a great attitude to have because, much as I love like Marvel's stuff and, a lot of the big budget movies that they're making now, those guys are kind of restricted by the people in charge of the money.
Yeah. Fortunately, the people who are in charge of the Marvel movies' money are people who really give a shit about the end product.
Well, I guess there's, giving a shit about the end product, but I think now that they've had so many financial successes that they're kind of not worried too much about whether something's going to work or not.
Yeah.
Because somehow it just keeps ending up working. Fucking Ant-Man's going to be successful on accident.
Yeah. In spite of itself. I don't know. I'm still going to see it.
And I'm not
terribly
saying ahead of time
it.
that Ant-Man's going to be a bad movie. I'm just saying it's Ant-Man.
Well, beyond being Ant-Man has had so many ups and downs as far as its production goes.
Yeah.
So
director changes and all that
writing
stuff. And
changes.
frankly, the trailer kind of left me limp.
Yeah. Well, it was just kind of a cliche. Teaser, you know. It just there wasn't anything really.
At this
making
point,
go.
it seems like an '80s adventure movie.
Yeah.
You know, mild sci-fi adventure flick.
But you know, time will tell. We'll have to wait and see what the end product is. I'm just not terribly hopeful for it. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy was, where you watched what was happening. With
No,
it.
yeah. You saw the trailers for Guardians of the Galaxy and went, "Oh, yeah, I get this. This is gonna be cool."
This is more like, oh, he's gonna ride a flying ant.
Ooh.
It might have been different if they had shown us a little bit of Yellow Jacket. You know, maybe shown us a little bit of combat. But
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, Hank Pym has never really excited me.
we'll see what happens.
Janet Van Dyne, on the other hand, got me excited a couple times. But
Because you want to give her the stinger.
yeah.
I can't blame you for that. I'm completely on board. But anyway, back to the stuff we were actually supposed to talk about.
Yeah, so we'll put up the Indiegogo.
Oh, the
Site.
link to
Yeah,
yes.
if it's still going on by the time we actually air this, at least.
Yeah.
And,
Oh no, it will be. It's going on for like a month.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of hoping that I'll get my taxes back before then and be able to kick in like $50. Because apparently at the $50 level you get a signed poster.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. So I would frame that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're always like.
Yeah, I'm constantly turning like this to talk to you, and because the fisheye fattens us out in this direction and then draws in the middle to do the wide angle thing, I look like I got fucking
a baby hand.
Yeah. No, damn it, I'm not gonna be able to remember his name now. Chris, whatever the fuck, from the first Scary Movie, or was it the second Scary Movie? Grab my strong hand. Anyway, are we ready to go? Derek, are you ready?
I am always ready.
Are you
I
ready?
have been ready since first call. Now, roll.
All right. And this week, we're excited to talk about the announcement that Rock Band 4 is going to be released soon for the PS4 and Xbox One.
Rock Band 4 is fantastic news.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had a iteration.
I think it's been
of
like
Rock Band.
6 years.
Was it like 2010, 2011?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
And not surprising because the market got really, really oversaturated with rhythm games at one point.
It did, but I don't think it was oversaturated to a point where they needed to stop altogether.
I think it did because, honestly, it started out, they did Guitar Hero, and Guitar Hero was really cool, and everybody loved it, and then suddenly it was Guitar Hero 2 and 3, and then there's Rock Band, Metallica, the Beatles, Green Day, AC/DC had one. It was just a huge glut of everybody wanting to cash in on that.
Like I was saying,
because Rock Band had made, or not Rock, Guitar Hero had made a gigantic fucking pile of money, and then Rock Band 2 made an even bigger pile of money, and then Harmonix went, you know what would be even better? Let's do a whole fucking band, man.
Yeah.
And we'll make instruments for everything, and it'll be incredibly cool. And it was. Strangely, we sort of kind of predicted that was coming, because I know Dan and I had a conversation after like Rock Band 2 had come out, where we're literally going, you know what would be cool, what should be like the next step for this genre, is to release like a full band game where you could, you know, sing and have a drum kit and have somebody on bass, and that would be really awesome. And Harmonix went, we got you, brother, it's cool, check this out. and it was just fucking amazing. But the video game market just got so oversaturated with that kind of game. I think everybody just got disgusted with the whole thing, walked away, and the bottom just collapsed right the fuck out. And the only ones that have been really supporting that has been Rocksmith.
Yeah, and Rocksmith's been really cool. I mean, it actually teaches you to play guitar.
Yeah.
Which has been really cool. It's like I said though, I don't know if they really need to stop altogether. I think they could have just waited a couple of years. I don't think they need to wait 6 before they decide to put out a new.
No,
game.
I disagree. I really think that in a situation like that, you have to wait out enough time for nostalgia to start to seep in. You know, because it really was. It got to the point where it was just a zillion of those games, and nobody would buy your old instruments.
Yeah.
So literally people would have like warehouses full of the things sitting around their house. Well, because
flea markets. Flea markets is the only place where you can find them second
hand.
hand.
No, and if you were
flea markets, pawn shops.
Yeah, and if you were really fired up about those kind of games, man, you had everything, you know, because you had like the SGs from Guitar Hero, and you had the Strats from Rock Band, and you had all the special ones from the Beatles game. Mm-hmm. You know, it got really nuts, and if you were really into those things, you would have an entire separate room in your house just dedicated to instrument controllers.
Right, yeah. Well, the details that we have so far for this are that old songs are going to be connected to your account. So as long as you're in the same line...
right, in the same
hardware.
Network, which kind of cool, but not cool, because I had all that old stuff on
your Xbox.
On the Xbox 360, but this generation I switched over to Sony, so I'm not going to be able to take advantage of any of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to buy everything fresh, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that they're doing that and they're giving people an opportunity to do that stuff.
At least you don't have as much music as Dan had.
Yeah.
Because he had, like, almost the whole...
Yeah. Yeah,
you know.
Nearly the entire catalog of DLC, yeah.
He didn't have much money, but what he did have, he spent on download. Instruments, they want to make them backwards compatible, but they don't know if they're going to be able to.
Well, and I have doubts about that, because the architecture on the new systems is so different from the old systems. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I mean...
They might be able to just sell dongles, though. If they can make the dongles communicate with the instruments, they could sell updated dongles that maybe translate it over.
I suppose. It wouldn't matter to me. I have to buy an entire new set of instruments anyway.
Yeah.
Because my cat Burke likes to chew on chords, and he fucked up my Stratocasters from the old game.
Yeah.
So, because we tried to dig those out a couple of months ago, and I got mine out, and I was like, "Oh, damn it." You know, and then I couldn't bring them over and play anyway because they were 360 versions and you had the PS3, so it was entirely pointless. They digress.
One of the things that they said is that they focused in the wrong direction as far as where they were advancing, and I think what they're alluding to is the Pro feature. So I'm thinking they're not going to have any actual stringed instruments, which for me is kind of a bummer. But like you said,
it's kind of fine though, because Rocksmith has already really covered that. I mean, Rocksmith's got your stringed instruments. Let's play a real guitar fetish completely covered. I don't think it's really necessary for Rock Band to be that. They can go ahead and make it more of a game and less, real world.
Unless you're the drummer. In which case you always get to play like a real instrument.
And never get laid.
Yeah, well, I'm not too into it anyway, so that's okay.
Yeah, weird.
And then the last bit of information that we've gotten is that it's supposed to be released in 2015. I'm guessing around fourth quarter.
Probably. They were really vague on how far along they were with it, but I think we could even see it by summer.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're that ready to announce, that means they're on the doorstep of release.
Yeah, I was involved with the survey, and that survey was done because they wanted to find out what they wanted to focus on.
Yeah, what
And
people wanted for features.
Yeah, was done, I think, about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So, which instantly got me a little excited.
Yeah.
Let's talk about features or things that we'd like to see. What were some of the things that you wanted to see them do with Rock Band 4?
As far as... Well, I don't know. I thought Rock Band 3 was really tight. I mean, they could do something very close to that. If, obviously, update the graphics. I think an important thing to me would be making sure that you could sync up your instrument with the TV well, because
that was always an issue.
Well, yeah, and frankly, I have a much more expensive and fancy ass TV than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting the game to sync up so what you're seeing on the screen and what you're doing in your hands is very, very tight. Because there have been games that I've tried to play on that TV that require a certain amount of timing that I just haven't been able to put together.
The lag's just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
One of the things I'd like to see, if they don't get rid of the Pro feature, is that they actually take tone recognition and use that instead of trying to use the button system, where it's more like a rocksmith.
Yeah.
Where you can play any instrument you want with it, but it knows if you're playing the right thing by listening to what you're playing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd also like...
Sure, I really think they could just leave it as more of a
button
game.
mash?
Yeah. Well, not button mash. I mean, it's rhythm. It takes skill to play that game with just the buttons, but, real stringed instruments be a feature, absolutely, but, I say still keep, the 5-colored button controller.
As far as gameplay goes, would you like to see it stay more like Rock Band 3, or would you like to see it go back more like Rock Band 2, where they had the touring? Where the touring was more of a prevalent feature, where it felt like you were creating more of a career. Because it kind of stepped back a little bit.
I guess. I don't know. I never saw the whole career thing as being all that important. I just wanted to play cool songs. I mean, maybe my attitude towards the game was like very basic and not terribly ambitious, but, look at me, I'm pretty basic and not terribly ambitious. I wanted to play fucking Motorhead. I wanted to play fucking Megadeth. I just wanted to grab the controller, get in there, and make the music that I enjoy listening to. And just, rock out and have fun with it. Frankly, put in characters and story modes and career modes and blah, 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 blah. But, I don't know, I didn't really care about all that shit.
You were fine with just the song list that you could create, and it would pick random songs off.
A character creator would be cool just to, I like having my me character on stage, or an idealized me because of course I'm not nearly as thin or good looking as I think I should be in that game. And we were watching a video, I think it was on IGN, and the one suggestion that I really agreed with is it would be a cool idea to take the Kinect, or what is it, PlayStation camera on the PS4, and be able to sync up your motions with the motions of your character, on the game. That'd be cool. And maybe even like,
so you can get some flair.
Maybe even get like style points.
Yeah.
For doing certain things, like the windmill or the power slide.
Although I would not recommend power slide in your apartment.
Or just kind of playing it with your crotch or something.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind buying a new controller, you can like get the ultimate super bonus points to do the Hendrix on it.
The Chuck Berry skip.
Right? You run across the stage like Angus Young, started on fire like Hendrix, or just beat the dog shit out of your controller like
Townsend.
From the Who, Townsend.
Oh.
That would be, cool, at least to a certain extent. Of course, you're destroying expensive equipment at that point, but.
Well, we're on the subject of the IGN video that we watched. It says something that really kind of ticked you off.
Well, yeah. The guy in the IGN video, and I think it was just kind of a throwaway statement as far as he was concerned, but what exactly is he called Led Zeppelin a metal band.
Yeah.
Or like, a grandfather of metal or something. And I was just taken aback by that. 'Cause Zeppelin, hard rock, yes, metal, no. If you want bands from the 70s that would be called like the progenitors of proto-metal, I would say Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Alice Cooper, those bands were metal. Though that was shit that led into metal. And I'm not even including the new wave of British heavy metal stuff like, Iron Maiden and Samson. Bands like that. Because those were actual metal bands, and they were very late 70s.
They were something that
rolling
led into
the 80s. Yeah, it was, those were the bands that were the early actual metal. And I love Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin's great. Excellent band, love their music, but they were not fucking metal. If you wear a blouse on stage, you're not metal. I give no fucks. And yes, I understand that with Black Sabbath, Ozzy did wear fucking blouses on stage. But he's Ozzy, so he gets a pass.
He gets a pass, because he bit the head off of a bat.
Yeah. So,
even if it was an accident.
Yeah, so, Ozzy we let go of on that one. But, no, it's just like, do you remember the movie Airheads?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the question was, who would win in a wrestling match, Lemmy or God? The question was not,
Jimmy Page
fucking
or God.
Page or God.
Robert Plant or God.
Yeah.
Robert Plant ain't gonna win no wrestling matches. Page I could see. Plant, no, not so much. See, I kind of consider them. I don't consider them metal.
No,
I would consider
again hard rock.
I would consider them Godfathers of metal. They definitely.
They were part of the progression that led up to metal, but
they conceived the concepts that eventually evolved into metal.
Yeah, but again, bands that were their contemporaries are far more logically metal, and again, I've already named them. So
because you look at songs like Communication Breakdown, and I'm brain farting on the rest.
Yeah,
but
I'm not saying that Led Zeppelin didn't have metal-ish moments. That stuff that you could see the kernel of what would someday be metal, but just because you have a heavy metal in your band's name does not mean your band is heavy metal.
And then you got other bands like The Doors who didn't have a metal sound, but Jim Morrison definitely had a metal attitude.
Yeah, sure. And again, and they were a blues band. I mean, you can track, you know, the timeline of rock and roll right through the Doors and right back into, you know, Delta blues, Chicago. You know,
And you could trace it back
Yeah.
and back and back, even up until back to slavery
right,
songs,
right.
where they were
No,
singing on the fields.
frankly, Wagner was metal. You know, Wagner was metal as fuck, but you know, it's and a lot of classical guys were kind of the heavy metal of their time. I mean,
What was it, Bach? At the was it Bach that they've been playing at the wrong tempo?
Yeah,
all these
yeah,
years?
Yeah,
And if you play Bach at the proper tempo, it's just crazy.
yeah, it is, and it's fucking awesome as shit. And if you want to hear it, there's an episode of Radiolab about that. Go look it up. It was very cool. But yeah, so Rock Band 4 should be very awesome. I can't wait to see, you know, what they've done to improve, upgrade. I'm very interested in finding out what direction they now think they should have been going in.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about that. You know.
Yeah,
And altogether, it's just going to end up being one of those things that's, you know, going to suck $5 out of my wallet every couple 3 weeks when they drop some new DLC. As long as they don't start dropping some lame ass Justin Bieber bullshit on me.
Was there any music that you were looking forward to coming out for it? That you
We
think
don't
that they
have
kinda
enough
missed
time
out?
in this episode.
Well, you were saying like you want to see more Metallica for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the rhythm games that I really had a lot of fun with was the standalone Metallica game.
Guitar Hero Metallica.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that, especially I especially liked doing the vocals for that game.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, there's a ton of music I would love to listen to. And
Get the microphone working. Get that microphone working. Gonna lick that microphone. Gonna get that. Ooh. Oh, it tastes so good. It tastes so good.
Saturdays at Derek's, guest starring Einstein.
He's a microphonophile.
Lick that thing.
Wait, I got it. Nope, don't got it.
No, that was almost it.
Wink.
Nice.
Wink. I got you. I got you. Oh, I got a weird squishy face.
You're really having fun with that.
It's funny. It's good stuff. It's
Alright, well, thanks for joining us this week, and thanks for putting up with our time traveling trickery, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Later.